Connor McDavid is one of the biggest names in hockey right now, and he definitely knows how to spend like a legend. Connor McDavid was all too happy to show off his new mansion in 2021. He may have regretted that choice. It ended up getting a lot more attention than he thought it would. Not the good kind either. This home is reported to be possibly worth somewhere in the neighborhood of $3.8 million. Though for him, a lot of that money may have flowed right back into his own bank account. Maybe that's how he spent all this money only to end up with a net worth of around $30 million. That's because this place was actually designed by his own girlfriend, minimalist designer Lauren Kyle. You can tell he really didn't hold back her signature style at all. Each and every room in this house is square, gray, spacious, and cold. So cold. Each and every room feels like a museum piece, and not a fun museum either. This is the kind of home an AI trying to reproduce what it thought human homes looked like would design. For instance, the kitchen may be beautiful with its black cabinets and marble countertops, but it doesn't look very inviting. Neither does the dinner table nearby, which has serious hotel lobby vibes to it. Everything from the furniture choices to the art on the walls follows this gray color scheme. I think the picture that sums up this home the most is this sad little swing. Sure, it is brilliantly designed to match the home around it perfectly, but would anyone want to actually swing in it? I'd bet good money that to this day it's been used less than 5 times. The internet really seemed to agree with this take. Fans immediately took to Twitter to savagely mock the new digs. Twitter just found itself a good target, and then the whole thread basically became the Comedy Central roast of Connor McDavid's house. Comments ranged from asking if they lived in a giant storage unit to asking what colors did to offend the couple so much. Others mocked McDavid himself for the seemingly forced enthusiasm he showed while giving the internet a tour of his new digs. Some even said that it would make the perfect home for someone like Patrick Bateman from American Psycho. The award for most savage burn was by far, hope to God Connor McDavid and his GF stay together forever, because if they break up, somebody's gonna have to live alone in that house. Ouch. That is definitely the burn that wins the day. The areas of the house that McDavid spends most of his time in actually have some warmth and life to them. That's because McDavid's additions to the place are places made for vibrant activity. No celebrity house would be quite right without some ludicrous amenities most houses wouldn't even think to feature. As you'd expect, McDavid's home has an enormous sports court for him to practice on with rollerblades. This apparently is where he spends the majority of his time. Surprisingly enough, his home also comes with his own basketball court. I can't help but wonder just how good McDavid is on the court. Of course, this place also has the one amenity all homes like this have to have. That would, of course, be a home movie theater. The kind that could probably seat like a party of 30 without breaking a sweat. The thing about his that makes me jealous is that it comes fully stocked with authentic movie theater snacks 24/7. That includes popcorn, red vines, raisinets, and jelly beans, waiting for him whenever he wants them. Chances are he will make it into acting at some point, who knows? Maybe this will be where he premieres his first action movie. The home also has a huge wine cellar. Evidently, when you get rich, you are legally obligated to get really into wine. I mean, you never see these guys brewing their own beer, am I right? Then there's his billiards parlor, which does away with the minimalist nature of the rest of the house entirely. To be honest, the whole room looks like a bar. There's a full wet bar that could probably put most real bars to shame with its selection. There are even giant portraits of several well-known celebrities across history, including Jimi Hendrix and Jack Nicholson. This room looks completely out of place compared to the bare walls and cold furniture everywhere else. It looks like McDavid's is a bar ready to open. This is no accident either. McDavid admitted that his home has become the party home for the hockey community. That might make this the single coolest room in modern sports mansion history. If you want to see the car that's said to most represent the kind of person McDavid is in his private life, it's a considerably less flashy option than you'd imagine. His go-to ride to take around is his white Range Rover. This car isn't the most impressive celebrity car we've seen. It's not really in the top 10. In fact, it likely cost him just under $100,000. Many go for around $88,000. It's also no hot rod with a 0 to 60 miles per hour time of 4.3 seconds. It has a top speed of 176 miles per hour, but honestly, this is not the kind of car you buy to find its top speed. Like McDavid's private personality, this car is unassuming, classy, workaday, and modern. Also, it shows that he's a man of means without really rubbing it in everyone's face. The kind of car I would expect McDavid to drive is like the fan-customized Ferrari dedicated to all things Connor McDavid. The entire thing is like a NASCAR, but instead of business endorsements, it's just free advertising for McDavid. Custom Ferraris like this usually go for around $300,000. That is one truly dedicated fan. If I was as famous as McDavid, I would definitely buy groceries in my Bugatti Veyron just because I could. So where exactly did McDavid's over-the-top spending habit begin? When he was a kid, there was absolutely no doubt about what he wanted to be when he grew up. He was a die-hard fan of the Toronto Maple Leafs. You didn't have to be in Lil McDavid's presence long before you figured that out. He admitted that his childhood bedroom was pretty embarrassing. Evidently, every corner of available space was covered in Maple Leaf posters and merchandise. He was particularly fond of Mats Sundin. Hopefully he held on to some of that merch because today it is worth quite a lot to collectors. Who knows, maybe he'll go home one day and realize he's had a second fortune hanging on his walls this whole time. For instance, a signed photo of Sundin is still valued at over $800, even if you could probably pick it up for under $600. Even his game-worn jerseys are worth $500. McDavid's merch is quite a bit more valuable. His jerseys can go for nearly $1,800. I bet if 13-year-old McDavid knew that his old shirts would one day be worth double what any of his idols' merch was worth, you just know he would freak out. McDavid has won multiple Hart trophies over the years. Authentic awards like that usually go for thousands, so if his house doesn't end up being a good investment, there's always a plan B.